They're Smith County, east of Carthage, and then also two of them down here. There's one in Murray County, one in the northern part of Lawrence County that's had several reports of funnel clouds with it. And so we'll zoom down into, first of all, Murray County near Columbia. The hail is coming into town now and will continue to affect areas from Columbia along Highway 50 and also along Highway 31. And we've also seen a lot of warmth that continues to feed into these storms down in this area. Let me show you what's going on our Columbia Skycam and Skynet camera. And certainly a big storm there, lots of heavy rains coming in through. It's 74, topped out at 81, so we've got lots of warmth and moisture, and you can see the heaviest cell coming into Columbia with the threat for hail, and we're going to have rotation that comes in on into the south side of town. I'll show you where the rotation is now on our radar. Storm 5 HD Doppler is on the south side of Columbia. It's around Sunnyside Lane, coming into Southern Hills, along Highway 31, near Highway 31 and Highway 50, and also near Highway 245. Let me zoom down a little bit more. And if you live in these Habersham Road, Mooresville Pike, Southern Hills, Denham Avenue, and then down toward Mooresville Pike, Highway 31, Neely Hollow Road, Hickman Lane, these are all of those areas where that rotation is going to be passing over, and the rotation is fairly substantial here. You can see it really bending the storm right in through here.
You want to see a good picture? We actually have one. It's not severe weather. Here's a picture from Old Hickory Boulevard and I-65 down in the Brentwood area. Do we have it? No, we don't have it.
Yeah, it looks like there's your picture from Columbia, 73 degrees.
We had a picture of a rainbow. That's what we had.
Oh, I see.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
There's the picture of the rainbow. So the low-angle sunlight coming in and setting off a pretty rainbow there with the light rain that's still falling in the Brentwood area. This is not so pretty. We still have a circulation going on, still confirming that rotation is going on over the northern portion of Giles County now. This storm system is continuing to maintain its organization. Here are some of the estimated times of arrival now. Buford's at 5:20, Linville at 5:22, Bivens at 5:25, Cornersville at 5:30, Ostella at 5:33, and Lewisburg in Marshall County there at 5:35. And again, we're still indicating quite a bit of rotation with this storm near Campbellsville. There you see along Waters Smith Road, Minnow Branch Road, Mack Branch Road, Lynn Creek Road. You are all right underneath the strongest part of that circulation and the tail end of this storm now that is moving off between Campbellsville and the Bufords area. So from the Highway 166 area up through Linville, this is a dangerous storm. You should be getting to your safe place now because again, this is the kind of day when you want to take all of these tornado warnings seriously. Some days maybe not so much, but today these storms are very energetic. Tornado warning for Murray County, also for parts of Marshall and northern Giles County. We've been talking about both of those storms being well organized and continuing for quite some time. Right now, those are the only two tornado warning counties in southern Middle Tennessee. We still have some severe thunderstorm warning counties here and there, but right at the moment, things beginning to wane a bit as far as tornado warnings are concerned. We still do have a tornado watch for many of our southern and eastern counties until 9 o'clock. You notice that the National Weather Service has been clearing counties back to the north and west of Nashville, as we were talking earlier with the frontal passage. That has pretty much ended the severe weather threat. So that's good news. Looking at the Power of 5 live Doppler radars, continue to see lots of activity in a band moving across the area. We'll animate that for you again. We saw the first storms begin to develop and move into our area about 1:30 in the afternoon, and they have continued rather continuously right on through the afternoon, and now they're going to continue into the early evening, it appears. We have seen some half-inch hail reports now coming in from Carthage, from amateur radio spotters there. And we do have, again, a couple of storms in southern Middle Tennessee that still have the potential for tornado spin-up. I'll go back to the Nashville radar now, and we'll look at one of those storms that is crossing Murray County now, with the strongest storm having pushed just to the east of the city of Columbia. There's our Skynet view in Columbia now. We're getting southwesterly winds at 24, 25 miles an hour there. You're right on the backside of that storm as you see it indicated on radar. And we still have substantial indication of circulation. Looks like it's along Highway 31, just to the south of the main part of that storm. And we're continuing to see on Doppler radar indications of strong wind shear. And we'll go ahead and put a storm path on that area of rotation. And you'll see Pottsville, the only city that's coming up in the path of that. Let me pull back just a little bit and give you a little bit longer projection, and we'll show you Southern Hills at 518, Creekside at 519, Pottsville at 531, Venable Spring at 532, Caney Spring at 534, Thick at 536, and Chapel Hill at 537. This storm continues to become organized and is still capable of producing a tornado at about any time. Farther to the south, another storm we've been tracking. We saw a picture of the wall cloud from our Skynet camera. This one now producing severe weather over northern Giles County, and you continue with a tornado warning across Giles and Marshall County now.
Here's the way the picture now looks from the Columbia area. You can see the back edge of the storm, the heaviest of the rains, giving you a little bit of a break. Now there are some more storms back to the west of Columbia that will move through. This storm that came through town had some very gusty winds and some hail, and let me show you what it looks like now on the radar. You can still see some rotation with it. It's fairly concentrated down along Highway 50, crossing Highway 50 southeast of downtown. The storm doesn't look quite as organized as it did. Let me run this back a couple of frames. It was looking maybe a little bit better organized, and it's kind of falling apart now, but the rotation is right in through here. And I'll zoom into that area and show you the roadways underneath the rotation. Sowell Mill Pike, Highway 50 right there in the bend when you come out of south of Columbia, and then you make that turn to the right down toward Blue Spring Road. That's where that rotation is coming across, where Blue Spring comes into Highway 50, and also where Old Lewisburg Highway comes into Highway 50. Those are areas underneath that rotation. Now this storm is moving off toward the east and racing off that way at 45 miles an hour, and will continue to do so, moving through areas around Leftwich, Pottsville, and Lillard Mill at 544. Now a storm north of here has had a report now of a funnel cloud, and this was up around Smith County. Let me zoom up this way and show you that right around that rotation is going south of Granville. Tornado warning continues. Clay, Fentress, Jackson, Overton, Pickett, Putnam, Smith counties. Trained weather spotters reporting a wall cloud near Carthage at that time. That was about 7 minutes ago. Tornado may develop at any time. So now that cell is to the east. Let me run this back in through time, and you can see as it came right across Carthage with a strong look of rotation, and now is continuing to push well to the east. It's along Highway 290 near Nameless. And let's take a look at the velocity data. There's your couplet. There's your rotation right in through here. So right over the community of Nameless and Highway 290 moving toward Highway 56 east of Granville. And if that storm continues on its current track, that rotation center moving east will move through these communities over the next few minutes, including places like Mount Union, Post Oak at 546, Hardy 552, back into the Rickman area at 558, and Okolona at 6 o'clock, and or maybe just a little bit quicker than that, as fast as it's moving. So you've got large hail on the north side of it, and there has been a wall cloud sighted with this. We've also had several homes reported damage in the Waynesboro area, so we'll go back down here, and that's with the storm. This would be, let me run this back into time over the last hour or so, and we've had very strong cells that have passed near Waynesboro as the days were gone on, coming up out of Alabama. And let's take a look at this storm. This particular storm coming into town has no warning with it. So the damage report was 4 miles south of Waynesboro, so that would have been with this cell about an hour ago, right through here, as it went across Highway 13, south of Waynesboro, with rotation. And it looks like that storm has done some damage there in the southern part south of Waynesboro, between Waynesboro and Collinwood in Wayne County. Zooming out just a little bit, you can see these storms that continue to move toward the east, really lining up. And that's essentially, once that line passes you, your chance of severe weather is going to substantially diminish. And so that's good. Let's go to Marcus, and he's out in Spring Hill right now. Marcus, what do you see?
Right now we see, as you can see behind me is Columbia, and that's where those dark clouds are. Right now we are in Spring Hill, and we're actually in the Spring Hill High School parking lot, so to give you an idea of where we are. But we've been out here pretty much part of the day. We've been in Columbia, and we've been waiting for a lot of these storms to come by. We saw a lot of clouds come through, but this right here, what you're looking at now, this is probably the worst that we've seen all day come through here. Just a few minutes ago, there was a nice heavy flow of rain that came through this area. As you can probably see, it's kind of wet out here, but then that came through, stayed about 15-20 minutes, and then it just moved on towards the Nashville area. But as you can see how the clouds are coming from the Columbia area, as you all were talking about just moments ago, we're still here waiting to see what will happen, but we will surely bring you all the information if anything happens in this area, and to be sure to warn anyone in this area of any activity. Charlie?
All right, Marcus Washington there, looking in from Spring Hill down to the south, looking at that storm. Here's the way it looks on radar. There's actually two storms. There's one where, with rotation, it seems to be increasing there, moving toward Bethesda in southern Williamson County. And then you've got this cell down to the south. And it's possible that Marcus, if he was in Spring Hill, was actually seeing this storm with the way the clouds were looking. And again, it looks like the rotation, there may be some rotation that's trying to get organized. It's very weak, but certainly bears watching. And then that cell to the south of Marcus, that's the big one, where we do have rotation. And that one is, the rotation is now southeast of Columbia, about to cross highway or Interstate 65. And taking a look at that image there, and I'm not sure which, I'm pretty sure that that's looking from